Greetings, everybody. We have gathered around the table again today for another episode. And today it's going to be a little bit of just a subject episode rather than a review about something. But first, let's get on to our pocket dumps. Go.
Oh, God, all right. Yeah.
So put out.
Well, 620 with M390, carbon fiber, titanium. It's wonderful. It's great.
He learned his lesson from last week, and he didn't wave it off the pocket.
That also came out of my back pocket, so I don't feel like stabbing
Excuses.
I don't want to stab Dennis's chairs.
Excuses. Everyone gets one.
Including the chairs.
So I should have stabbed the chairs, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm going to stab your chairs.
No.
Well,
And on that note, what I'm carrying, instead of my chairs, apparently, is the Benchmade Super Freak.
So does it live up to the hype?
Yeah, it does. It made it into my recent top 5 that I was called out on, so that tells you something.
That might be the best thing that Benchmade came out with this year.
A variation of another knife. Yeah.
But that specific variation.
Yeah.
And I am carrying my ZT456.
Understandable.
Fantastic.
It's a nice one.
It's such a good knife.
Yeah.
God damn it, Sinkovich.
And because it's almost always in my pocket, it's, my anthem.
Yeah.
All
The goodness.
always.
Yeah, probably 5 to 6 days a week. It's
So
hard to knock it out of my pocket.
It's a top 3 at least.
Number one.
Nice.
Number one by far.
That's a killer knife. I wish I had one.
Yeah.
So today we are going to be talking about not only our regular pocket dumps for our knives, but our everything else pocket dumps as well.
What else is involved on the 4 guys sitting around the table and what we like to rock on a daily basis?
The rest of the E in the EDC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
The every?
The every.
Yes.
The every carry. That sounds way more inflated than it needs to be, but I'm willing to roll with it.
Everything else. That's what I was going for. You both suck.
That has 2 E's.
It's too many EEDCs.
It's the eeks. It's the eeks.
The E's.
Why you gotta hate on the people that study, man?
That has nothing to do with it. But
The everything else DC.
the everything else, that does not roll off the tongue nicely.
Not so much.
I hate you all.
Okay.
But yeah, to keep this train rolling, or at least to get it rolling, wallets.
Oh, damn.
Everyone carries a wallet.
Oh God,
It's
true.
I hate this thing.
So, yeah.
So,
Some of us try to be a little bit more minimalistic than others.
that's what you got for my wallet. Yeah,
Yep.
Nigel's definitely the most minimalistic. I mean, I'm a double pocket kind of guy
Yeah.
on mine.
Simple.
I just have a little bit of
bifold
chaos
here.
in the front, but
Just a little.
Yes. So, I don't know what can be said about the wallet drops. I think,
Yeah.
honestly, I think mine's, well, Paul is definitely the contender for the biggest wallet. Mine's still got the biggest footprint, realistically. Yeah.
I actually
Pretty close.
I tried to slim this down. Normally, it is quite a bit thicker because of the amount of business cards I'll
Jeez.
carry in here to reference. Recently, I did thin this out, and I have to say, it's a lot better to have a thin wallet. Holy
Understandable.
Yeah.
crap. How are these rivets, man? Like, I would feel that, I don't know, like, add...
They're totally fine. I catch threads on the backside rivets every once in a while, but the front side ones are no issue at all.
All right, fair enough.
And just a little spot for the
So-
tab to slide into.
Is anyone tempted by those, the carbon fiber, the titanium,
No.
like solid wallets?
No,
those
not a
things?
hard wallet for me.
I have
Yeah.
one and I don't
See,
really.
I feel I would be if I were going to carry my wallet in the front pocket, but this is a back carry for me, so leather seems to be the better choice.
I transitioned about 3 years ago from a back pocket carry to a front pocket carry, and I'm
Yeah.
still under the impression that I'd always want a leather. I don't know, the hard ones just seem too hard in your pocket too much. The leather is just a little bit softer, and
Nicer
more,
tactile
more
feel.
malleable.
Yeah.
I like them for like card storage and just storing a bunch of cards in them and then having
Yeah.
them in something else.
Yeah.
Like if I carry my
Like in a
backpack and it's in my
Yeah,
bag.
See, that makes sense to me. It's
But
been
not
such a fad recently.
Not in the pocket situation.
Okay, we're all on the same page.
And you can tell, and maybe you can't, but I'm in the market for a new wallet.
Mhm.
So if you got
Yeah.
any ideas down in the comments there, let me know. Something nice and leathery, and
Yep, definitely make suggestions for any of these categories.
this thing needs to be replaced.
Yeah. So, and I mean, other than the primary knife, let's get on the topic of
Wow.
all of us carry a secondary knife of some kind,
Mhm.
if not a tertiary knife.
I was gonna say, yeah. I got a few things on me.
Yeah, for me, my secondary knife is usually just a little keychain one.
Yeah, and speaking of small fixed, I think the rest of the boys
Yeah.
go into a small fixed for a secondary.
And if I am EDCing a fixed blade, it's usually not small.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do, but
Understandably, yeah. I mean, I was at work today and I had this on my hip, but I mean, realistically, this only gets some serious use at camping.
I had my
I don't know.
Vidar on Saturday and my Frenzy.
So for the record, Nigel with his grasshopper, and me
Super
and
cool.
yeah, okay. So me and Joe were talking about this earlier about how the new grasshoppers are 12C27 Sandvik
Huh.
on the new
Yes.
grasshoppers.
interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
In the catalog, they're listed as 3CR.
3CR in the catalog. You currently have an 8CR, which I
Yeah.
thought they still were until
Same.
Joe pointed them out to me.
Weird.
But the new grasshoppers and potentially the new bugs are actually a 12C27 Sandvik. But we know the larger grasshoppers are now, for sure.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me want one.
Paul, you're rocking the Bark River Essential with the M4.
Yeah.
Small little fixed.
Small. I usually tend to lean more towards like that 4-inch, 3.5-inch range. But
Yeah.
the Essential's perfect size for just about everything except for,
I've got my TRC.
It's such a pretty knife.
it's so
So
nice.
M390 with a 62, 61 rockall. I don't know. It's super thin behind the edge and hard
It's
to a
thin
crazy.
little knife.
But for an EDC scalpel, it's number one,
Mhm.
and it sits in a deep carry. If companies or people aren't familiar with TRC knives, definitely check them out. They are set to a premium price, but I do believe that they're worth it.
I love the rivets in that knife too.
Yeah, everything about it.
So nice.
The
Fit and
finish is gorgeous. Like that would score probably very highly in our review.
Mhm.
And last but not least, Joe, self-promoting like the advertising whore that he pretends to be, but not really, because he still doesn't post on social media.
He only advertises through our channel here.
His Zulu. Green handles, so S35.
S35, chisel ground too, which I've been very happy with as far as like a fine cutting tool.
So hit Joe up if you want one of these fantastic Ulus. He can make one for you. They're pretty cool little pieces, for sure.
Sweet little knife. I can't wait to get mine.
Yeah. His Instagram page that he never posts on, if you message him, he probably will actually answer to it. So
I'll post more soon, I promise. I say for the umpteenth. But I mean, I have to test the stuff I make, so this has been with me since I first made it.
Yep.
I'm quite happy. But yeah.
Do we want to touch on tertiary?
Yeah, sure.
we can briefly. I don't know if I always carry a tertiary, and it varies a lot for me.
I almost always do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw this one up there. If I am carrying, like I
third?
quickly mentioned, if I was carrying a fixed blade, it's usually a bigger one. And because I always have this guy on my keys, that
That'd
is
be a
my
thing.
tertiary, yeah.
It's the weekend, and on the weekend, Dennis carries a Contigo, no matter what he's doing. If I'm not on the weekend, I actually probably will be carrying some sort of classic slip joint traditional, something like that for my tertiary.
You've carried an Almar pretty frequently for the last little bit, haven't you? For like a
No, it's been a GC or the Lion Steel. The
Yeah,
Almar's
okay.
too big, the one that I own. But yes, there is a tertiary knife somewhere in there. So for knife guys, there's 3 knives. This guy over here carries half a dozen at any point in time, but we're not going to go into those.
Not into
'cause
every
no.
single one.
But
that guy's an asshole.
But this is the well, thank you. But this is the choice because it lives in my key pocket. Oh,
Simmer down.
Whoa.
I will try. It lives in my key pocket, so
Yeah.
it's one of those things that it's always there, regardless.
I'm pretty sure my M4 will win, but
Keys, sure.
Yeah.
So in the little small pocket that's too small for anything else, keys. I've got 3 keys. They're all the same profile. It's super annoying trying to find which one is which in the dark, but I can tell by feel now. Honestly, it's just a little key ring.
that's the most boring set of keys I've ever seen.
It is
in my
the
entire life.
worst EDC set of keys
But
I've ever
there's
seen
only
in my
3
life.
keys I need.
Are you sure about that?
Jesus.
See, you got an S-beaner. That's at least slightly more interesting than
Like,
what I've got.
Tactical.
Jesus, man.
Tactical
Like,
S-beaner.
Yeah.
we're bringing out the guns, apparently. Paul.
Apparently.
Like, seriously.
Well, this boy over here with his fucking...
Well, first
Wow,
of all,
that's
we got the jailer.
The jailer slash not jailer, but the janitor. That's the other word, the J word.
And if he's gonna hijack a train, apparently he can.
Well, like a
not talk about that.
1917 train.
No, modern diesels.
Jesus, all right, that's kind of crazy.
Don't ask
Sure.
questions.
Don't worry about
I've
it.
got questions.
So,
And then we've got a ring, and we've got a fob, I'm guessing?
let's get into my building.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
And then we've got some house keys, and then we've got some other house keys, and then we've got what seems to be a lock to...
A bike lock and my storage room lock.
So for what it's worth, this is clipped to the outside of your pants.
Mhm.
I keep this inside an interior.
I'm pretty
pocket.
sure that last one's a kill room.
This one? It's the dungeon. Don't ask questions.
Saw style. Jesus.
But yeah, no, I prefer to jingle.
You prefer to.
And
Yeah.
you
All right,
forgot.
all
You
right.
forgot your pipe cleaning tool.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
and that guy too. For
Bunch of handy little tools.
Do you smoke
gimmicks.
from a pipe often?
I do like it in like September through November kind of area
Oh, okay.
when it's cold outside and it's not making your hands sweat all over the place.
And then last but not least,
You've all heard about the.
we're going modern on this guy. So,
Mhm.
yeah. 4 keys is what I overall have. But then I did spoil myself with a deep carry pocket clip. And while I was doing those things, I had to score myself a titanium beard comb.
The Hitler mustache comb.
Since we are all wearing beards in this crew, yeah, it does actually come in handy. Titanium, so I actually use the edge of it for a bottle opener very often, and it works very, very well.
Which is great because if you lose this out of your pocket, you lose all your keys at once.
So,
I mean, if I lose this, I lose all my keys at once.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is deeply buried in like a change pocket. This doesn't go.
when have you known me to lose a pocket knife?
Only when you lost this the last time.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what I was aiming at.
And I did lose a key bar, but that's why I splurged on the deep carry,
clip.
and I don't
Yeah.
see it happening again.
Have you had any near misses so
Not
far
even
with the deep carry?
close. No.
Okay, that's good to know because I've been thinking about that, and the deep carry might be the way to
I've
go.
highly encouraged people to rock a deep carry. Yeah.
And as you might have noticed earlier with the S-beaner on my grasshopper there and the S-beaner on my keys,
Oh,
that's generally how I tend to carry them, tucked into a little pouch in my pocket.
Very nice.
Yep.
At least it's not going to be jangle.
Jangle.
Oh,
I tend to walk around a lot downtown, and I tend to walk fairly quickly. So I've walked up on people more quickly than they were expecting me to
early
be.
warning device.
Yeah, so people just know I'm coming.
You know, that's actually not a bad idea. That way they get out of your way nice and quick, and you can continue on your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not
okay.
scaring people when it's midnight and you're walking home.
Okay, fair enough.
Paul scares people.
Well, with that beard, I mean, I'd imagine that you get a little bit like, oh shit.
It's taking all my effort just to stay in the seat right now. I'm a little freaked out.
Fantastic.
Oh, and
Scratch.
for the record, I'm just going to take a quick break here. We didn't mention it on the last recording, but we are celebrating a 1-year anniversary of being on the air this evening.
Really?
23rd is the first episode that we put up. May
Ah,
23rd
Nice.
last year.
Good for
I
us.
actually thought it was May 15th when I
Nope.
saw it.
Um,
But, so is it next week, in theory?
I believe so, yes.
Coming up.
The Bark River episode.
It's
off
either
of
going to
yours.
have happened or is
Oh,
coming up.
that's why. Is
when
because
this
I
video airs.
believe,
Right, you're counting the first couple
I'm
that I put up on my
counting
channel,
the Bark River episodes that we did on Nigel the Smith's channel,
Mhm.
not on the
a
Pokey
year-old
Factor.
shout out for that because it's been forever.
Yeah.
Go watch those videos because they're pretty funny.
But we had the first two, and how far we've come in
For sure.
a year, give or take.
Have we really done that many episodes? God
Yep, our
damn.
lifetime is May 23rd.
Yeah, for the Pokey
Jeez.
Factor.
Yep.
That would
That's
be
incredible.
number 52.
I feel like we need to do something for that. I
But
don't know.
anyway, yeah, we will
Damn
then.
near.
So
Yeah.
I had
Yep.
to stop and pause on that, but we'll get more into our EDC right now. 'cause-
This will be episode number 48. Or 49, actually, if Subvert's 48.
Holy crap. That's incredible.
And we had Christmas and Thanksgiving and different holidays
Yeah,
in
of
between,
course,
so we
of
haven't done
course.
52. But
Yeah.
no, this is give or take. This is a year since we sat down and started doing this bullshit.
Well,
So,
this has been a lot of fun.
cheers, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Halfway through this episode, which probably won't even air a year to the date, but I don't care. It's worth it, and it's been fun.
When this
Mhm.
airs, the day will either have passed or will be coming up. So,
Yep.
So
there.
It still counts.
It's in the scope.
Yep.
It's all right.
It's been great fun. Anyway,
Yep.
regardless. Torches. Let's
Flashlights.
get into torches because that's the next thing on the
Ow,
list.
I dropped a
Yeah.
flashlight.
So,
We've got some
damn
similar
it.
flashlights going on. Paul's pulling out every flashlight he goddamn owns.
I changed things up.
Yeah. You're talking EDC.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
I know we're not talking about stuff that you carry in a bag, but I literally carry this everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Whether it's in a bag or it's in my pocket, in like a coat or something like that, it's with me everywhere I
I'm
go.
a huge advocate of the XT11S. I've used it for
Yeah.
a camping flashlight for the last 4 years, and anyone who's looking for a long-distance flashlight, one of the best flashlights on the market, for sure.
Nice deep reflector. Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. Get a better
Big-
run time with a better beam distance on the market, and I'll entertain it. But
Big plus with the like quick switch right to
yeah.
strobe too.
And some similarities that some of the USBs that we see, or some of the flashlights that we see, is the USBs incorporated in most of these that we're seeing on the table tonight.
Which honestly is kind of an important feature for flashlights these days. Something that you can easily plug in, not have to think about, and just let it charge. Let it go back to full, and then go about your day.
Might I add, including the pen light, does have. Joe, show that off. It's your goddamn
Oh
flashlight.
my goodness, I love this thing. Micro USB input from the... Yeah,
show it off, I
Nigel.
said.
Micro USB input. There's an LED on the reverse side that actually shows the charge level between bright green and red. Charging is red, fully charged is green. It has a built-in diffuser, so there's no hotspot. I actually use this as an inspection light quite a bit when I'm making my own stuff. So this is almost always in my front pocket.
Inspection light.
Well, it's kind of like...
And speaking of any sort of
yeah.
inspection light with pen and flashlight included, it's a very, very optimal combination
Yeah,
for
sure.
exactly that task.
I love this thing for taking notes when like I unexpectedly have to write something down, or if I'm making a mark in steel or something similar. That carbide tip is wonderful for scribing in. You know, I was kind of a mixed opinion when I bought this. Like, is this really going to be as useful as I hope it will be? It has been. And I'm super ecstatic because of it. It makes it hard to buy other flashlights because it's like, this does a job so well.
And then we'll see some similarities in the M1C with you boys.
It's a fantastic
Well,
little light.
both. I don't have the titanium version of this guy, but both me and Paul do own the same set of flashlights there.
Yeah.
And for in the city, I prefer the little guy. It's a fisheye lens, a nice wide flood to it.
Yeah.
Don't really need the distance in city, I find, me personally.
And that's such a super cool feature. The fact that it's so wide and such an even lighting.
No hotspots.
It's
at
got
all.
a very nice
man.
fisheye. Maybe we can get a picture up of how wide that beam is compared to an XT2C or an XT11. I will dabble. I also owned an M1C for a long time. Really, really loved it. Lost it, unfortunately, this season, and I did replace it, last but not least, by, this is actually a Mass Drop exclusive. They have actually changed their names now. They are just drop.com, not Mass Drop.
Cool.
Still offering the same cool service and the same awesome products. But it's a AAA flashlight that's doing 120 lumens
Which is crazy.
with an 80-foot, 100-foot beam distance even.
That's amazing.
On high beam. Yeah.
That's a great urban carry. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Super lightweight, super in the pocket.
Disappears.
I don't like how high the clip normally sits, so it will actually stretch right up to the top, and there's another lip where that clip will actually stop and not come off.
It'll
Nice.
ride
So
the knurling. That's
I've
awesome.
made this a
Ride the
Jeep carry
knurling.
clip. They do also come out in copper and brass. I
Titanium,
may
I
or
think,
may
as well,
not
right?
have a brass one that's supposed to be arriving within the next day or two. That's also
They need,
pretty excited
they
about.
need to make a bronze one.
Yeah.
Big fan.
So yeah, not USB rechargeable, but I have thrown a rechargeable AAA in, and it works just the same in all the universal chargers that we all own anyway. One thing I will dabble on is the battery operation on the M1Cs before we skip on.
Yeah.
You guys didn't show off the fact.
No.
Mhm.
These little guys have really, really funky batteries in them. Don't even need to plug the flashlight in or anything. There's a USB port built right into the battery.
Which is awesome, especially if you have multiple batteries, because
Great
you can have
little
one on the go with no external charger and keep the other one in your light. Like, that's nuts.
And it is starting to become a habit that any model that is AA, AAA, 16340s, 18650s, they're all having these cells that are
chargers.
USB rechargeable. So we're really looking forward to that.
I think this is the first time we've really talked about flashlights on the channel, but
It
I mean,
is.
like that's such a cool feature that you wonder, like, why did it take so long to come to market? Like,
We should have a flashlight channel soon, and we're going to. But this is
Or
the easy,
review episode.
Yeah, But
Not
this-
channel.
this is the EDC episode, so let's keep the train rolling.
I just want to
here.
really, really say the pocket clip too. The direction it's set clips onto a baseball cap really nice, and
Yes.
it's really good for working.
It's a good point. It's a
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
I think one of the
I
other
gotta get
things that
spread.
you dabbled on it with your flashlight episode, but pens. And there's quite a few of us that do actually carry a pen of some sort.
I'm just gonna put that back up there.
Nigel, on the other hand, chooses
Yep.
not to use a pen.
Not so much that I choose not to. It's just I haven't really found one that I enjoy carrying.
That's fair.
I think you
I
did
want
have
one.
the telescoping pen that you tried carrying for
A little while, yeah.
but it's tricky.
Yeah, it was a little actually keychain pen that was telescoping, and I think the reason why I stopped carrying it is the retention got too loose and
The
it popped
detent.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. That was my follow-up question,
True-
was why not?
True Utility was the company that made it, and they were pretty cool little units for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say the Fisher Bullet Space Pen, I actually wedge in between my wallet here and have that clipped almost 24/7 together.
He wedges it down into the crevasse.
Yeah, right into the crack.
Right into
so
the
much so
crevasse.
that the crack has made way for my space pen.
You stretch that crevasse.
Custom fitted for this cylinder right here.
I want one of these.
Yeah.
I want a front carry.
I have a
to
brass
carry a pen
one
and stuff.
without the clip.
That's the direction to
It
go.
hasn't made it into my EDC, but it's part of a sheath system with one of my slip joints.
So
Quite nice.
when you mention brass, I'm actually showing off the tip of my black anodized one. I'm pretty sure is actually brass underneath that's been anodized, and I think the anodized black ones are cheaper than the actual brass
Yeah.
ones themselves.
So I wonder if the polish has anything to do with that, or what. the
So
deal is.
only time will tell
Pretty polished.
before I
Who knows?
uncoat the brass, but it's kind of funny that that's the way it works.
Mhm.
Oh, and the tack pen, I guess.
Yeah. I just wanted something as a pen just to try out to see
Straight
if I
pen.
could.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to spend a huge amount of money to try out to see if I liked a pen, so I bought this, and I don't carry a pen as often as I should.
Mhm.
What's the leftovers here, boys? I think
Kind of the miscellaneous, I guess,
I think me and Paul are on the same page.
with the fire.
I think Bic lighter. Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't been a cigarette smoker in close to 20 years now, but I always joke around that humans forgot how important fire was, and one day we're gonna have to remember that again.
Fair
So,
point.
I did pick up a arc lighter recently, but
Survival lighter, that thing sucks. But
that being said,
Yeah.
it burns at 1,000 degrees Celsius. It's one of those things that'd be good if you had a solar power battery to go along with it.
yeah, that's like saying your flashlight's 3,000 lumens in a survival situation. Who cares as long as it's a flashlight?
Absolutely. No. And I mean, what do those Bic lighters cost these days? Like $2,
Nothing.
$3?
Yeah,
absolutely
minimal.
nothing.
Like super.
Like $3
There's no
for a
excuse to
pack.
not have the ability to create fire wherever you are. That's an important skill. I think that's important to have. And I don't have it.
Yeah.
So,
The worst kind of people.
Some of the auxiliary stuff that I carry, a little screwdriver and a pry bar sort of tool.
I'll include my Kershaw bit kit tool.
And I will actually say I have carried a couple different pry bars in the past and things like that, but I find in an EDC situation they were just added weight, so I have reduced those out of my EDC. I don't carry any sort of pry bar anymore.
I adjust, disassemble, and clean enough that I find this is worth it. I don't have a pry bar specifically for those reasons.
I think the big thing for me was a key bar. It ended up having the pry bar on the comb. It's also titanium, so I can't scrape and everything like that. It filled a role for me.
But you also scrape and pry with most or a lot of your knives anyway, so
This
Yeah.
is the biggest thing that I've been prying with recently,
Yeah.
so I'm fair enough. Yeah,
you're abusive.
a little bit.
So
And I
abusive.
think honorable mentions, I think.
I like to rock a little chopstick on occasion as well.
And I have one other EDC that is super weird, and most people kind of laugh at me when I have it, but it has come in handy in a couple situations. I have a leather pouch as well as a wooden spool that I wrap microcord on. And this does sit on my belt. I've used the microcord in several emergency situations. It's not an everyday thing, but when I have it to actually fix a situation, people laugh, but then they're super thankful that I actually have it on me.
I've been there for those for several of those situations.
Yeah, in a couple in emergency where it's a good thing you had a little piece of string that weighed at least 100 pounds because you almost needed it in those situations.
That's a very heavy string.
It is.
The
It can
string
hold
weighs-
almost 100 pounds.
The string does not weigh 100 pounds.
No, it does not.
This chapstick doesn't weigh 100 pounds either.
Nope.
For me personally, I try to carry this as often as possible within a jacket or even just in my jeans or whatever else I'm wearing for pants. But pocket stone,
A ridiculously dirty pocket.
Oh man,
It's filthy.
that's how you know I use it.
You know,
This
how,
is
you
between
know how to
cookies.
sharpen your knife on other steel filings, not with a stone.
Fantastic. Well,
Check Joe's non-existent YouTube channel on how to sharpen really poorly.
holy shit! Thanks, dude.
Shade.
Thanks for the shout out. God damn. Well, battery case for my phone. There's a lot of instances where I'm out longer than I expect. It's nice to be able to charge my phone while I'm out. So hey, this is like 72 hours worth of battery. It's great. I can't help but find that I carry this everywhere I go, whether or not it's attached to my phone directly. Regardless of what model of phone I have, I tend to have an extra battery.
That is fair.
All right. That's what we carry. I
Mhm.
think that's the complete gamut of the rundown of an EDC. It does vary. Knife to knife, torch to torch.
We got heavy pockets.
Minimalism to not so minimalistic. It varies a whole bunch for sure.
Just looking at the pile.
We wouldn't let Joe add all
I
his
don't care
other
these all at the
knives.
same time.
Because we'll just have a screenshot of just Joe's knives right here. No,
No,
put them
no.
away. No,
Just
the
feel
episode is
No.
over.
How many more
No,
knives?
it doesn't matter. 4. That's the answer.
6.
Yeah.
Probably closer to 4.
Both of those answers are right on any given week. Let's
True
finish this
story.
episode.
Yeah, so that's the rundown of our general EDC gears. Feel free to post what you guys are rocking and give suggestions. Pen for me, new wallet for Paul, stuff like that. See
Comments, likes, and hates on what you think. What do you think is ridiculous? You know, like an EDC Ulu. I'm just saying, I'm harping on Joe for the rest of the episode, so that's what he's going to get.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Shade.
Let us
Just
kn-
shade.
let us know.
I'm used to it by this point.
as you should be.
Punching bag.
Yeah. That being said, that's all for this episode. Nigel the Smith signing off.
I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
XL.ca.
We will catch you again next time.
Catch you on the flip side.
The flippity flip.
We don't need